Lord be with you.
And also with you.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, Lord.
Great crowds were traveling with Jesus, and he turned and addressed them. If anyone comes to me without hating his father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not carry his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Which of you, wishing to construct a tower, does not first sit down and calculate the cost to see if there is enough for its completion? Otherwise, after laying the foundation and finding himself unable to finish the work, the onlookers should laugh at him and say, "This one began to build but did not have the resources to finish." Or what king marching into battle would not first sit down and decide whether with 10,000 troops he can successfully oppose another king advancing upon him with 20,000 troops? If not, while he is still far away, he will send a delegation to ask for peace terms. In the same way, any one of you who does not renounce all his possessions cannot be my disciple. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
A man had been wandering in the forest for several days, unable to find his way out. Finally, he saw another man approaching him in the distance. Now his heart was filled with joy. Seeing the man coming, now I'll surely find which is the right way out of the forest. When they neared each other, he asked the man, "My friend, will you please tell me the way out of this forest? I've been wandering about for days and I can't find the way out." The other man said to him, "My friend, I don't know the way out either, for I too am lost. But this much I can tell you. Do not go the way I have come, because it's not the way out. Now, you know one way not to go, I know another way not to go. Together, we can find our way out of this forest." The second reading today is from Paul's letter to Philemon, probably my favorite piece of Paul's writings. This is a unique Sunday. It is the only Sunday we read anything from Philemon. And what we read today was probably half of the whole letter. It's the shortest thing in the New Testament. This is it. This is the whole letter right here. 25 verses in English, 335 words in Greek. And it is unique in the sense that it's a personal letter of Paul's. It's not a great theological letter. Most of the other letters of Paul were written in response to questions. We're having a problem in our community. What can we do about this problem? Not so with the letter to Philemon. It is a personal letter. Paul is in prison, probably in either Rome or Ephesus at this time. And he writes to a man named Philemon. Philemon was a convert of his, obviously a friend of his, probably lived in Colossae. Paul had spent some time with him and his family. Now in prison, it just so happens that one of Philemon's slaves, named Onesimus, ran away from Philemon's house and just by sheer coincidence, as far as we can tell, found himself in prison with Paul. So now Onesimus is going to be let go. What is Paul going to do? Well, while he was in prison, Onesimus was converted to Christianity by Paul. Paul became his father in the faith, if you will. And now, following Roman law, he is sending Onesimus back to his master, Philemon. And this letter is a letter, in a sense, begging Philemon not to punish him. Because as an escaped slave, I mean, Philemon could have done all sorts of things to Onesimus. Could have had him beaten, could have had him chained, could have had him in prison, could have had him killed. But Paul says no. Paul says, I want you to care for him. Remember, he became my child in prison. And this is what I love about this letter. It really shows us how Paul thinks. Martin Luther loved this letter so much, he called, this is Paul's holy flattery. So listen, some of the pieces we have and some of the pieces you don't have in there. Listen to what Paul says to Philemon. I'm sending this escaped slave back to you. I'm sending it back to you. That is, I'm sending my own heart back to you. I should want to keep him, but no, rightfully he should go back to you. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to, I could. I'm the great apostle. I could force you to keep him with me, but no, I don't want to do anything. It's got to be voluntary.